Well, good morning and welcome to the grand opening of the new Veteran Service Center and headquarters for Operation Stand Down. My name is Diane Spencer and I have the honor of being the chair of the board of directors during this pivotal year. It's my privilege to welcome Governor Bill Lee and First Lady Maria Lee, Mayor John Cooper, General Jeff Holmes, Commissioner Courtney Rogers, and Dan Heim on behalf of Director of the VA Hospital, Jennifer the Draw Barron. These have been challenging times in many ways. Thank you for being here. These have been challenging times in many ways, but also times of great blessings. It's the same for military life, for veterans after their service, for their spouses, for their families. I have the honor of being a daughter of an Army combat veteran of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Thank you, my people. Challenges and blessings were a way of life, and we learn to adapt and we move forward. Such as we have done today, as we have adapted for this celebration. This is much smaller, a smaller crowd than we had planned to have here today. Thank you for being here. We have reminders throughout about social distancing, and we've asked everyone to wear a mask. For pictures, we ask that you only get as close as you're comfortable, as your comfort allows, and that you're free to momentarily take down your mask for the pictures. 11 years ago, the first executive director, Bill Burley, you see him right over there, gave me a tour of this empty building. And he shared with me what his vision was, what this facility could mean for our veterans. And although that vision has evolved over the years, today we cut the ribbon on the first phase of a new strategic direction for this agency. While we remain committed to those experiencing homelessness and challenges, we also embrace a new generation of veterans who need career assistance, access to their benefits, and connections to other veterans, as well as a place to go and feel welcome. This Welcome Center was designed with many points of entry, many resources and partners inside to accommodate just that. As a board of directors, we have spent years garnering the resources, vetting strategy, and providing guidance. However, the leadership of this agency is phenomenal. So I would like to recognize the outstanding CEO, John Crenson, for his service to his country, this community, and this agency. Likewise, the building as you see it today would not exist without our COO, Eden Murray. Everyone should have a retired Air Force Brigadier General as their COO. The job gets done. Finally, I want to thank our talented interim CFO, Amy Maiden, and new CFO, Rose Russo, as well as our CDO, Penny Anderson. Together, this team makes serving on the board of directors a dream volunteer job. Now, I mentioned earlier that I remember when this facility was first purchased and was empty, and what it looked like at the very beginning. So I am especially excited to share with you and celebrate this newly renovated facility. I can't wait for you to see it, and I am so honored to be associated with this organization. Now I would like to bring to the podium CEO John Crenson.
Well, good morning. And thank you, Diane. We so appreciate your passion and the leadership that you're bringing in her first 6 months of her first year as our board president. So, Diane, thank you very much. And thank you, Governor Lee, First Lady, Mayor Cooper, Major General Holmes, Commissioner Rogers, and Diane Heim on behalf of Director Vedral Barron. We appreciate your presence here with us today. I believe, at least for this part of our community, this is the first event of its type since about March or so. And so we are very excited that we can be part of something like this. I mean, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful thing that we have something to celebrate amidst all the challenges that we face, both with pandemics, social introspection, and all those sorts of things. So folks who know me know that I'm an Army vet, and there's a certain way I like to start events that are positive and uplifting and frankly hoo-ah, and that is with using the term hoo-ah. So if you've never heard the term hoo-ah, or you're a Marine and you mispronounce it oorah, we'll excuse that, but I want everybody on the count of three who want to join me in a big, big hoo-ah for this beautiful celebration we get to do today. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Hoo-ah. All right, we'll accept that because it's hot. We won't do it 3 more times like I usually do. All right, terrific. I also want to thank the people who've made this event today. It's the boots on the ground that is the make or break execution of any plan that we can plan all day long. So for those who've played a part in setting tents up and chairs up and plants out and ribbons up and invitations and registrations and valet, a lot of you are probably already standing. I want you to raise your hands to be recognized by our guests here that are with us today. And let's thank them for their hard work. This facility right here behind me, and truly this entire campus, is a culmination of years of dreams, plans, hard work, a legacy of evolving and innovating along the way over many years. And it's also a perfect model of a broad community support from the public, private, and nonprofit sectors, as well as at the local, state, and national levels. The planning for a dedicated facility for Operation Stand Down Tennessee and our veterans actually began in 2008, a dozen years ago. And there were actual renderings, professional renderings that were put together and a capital campaign plan that was teed up to get this thing rolling, 2008. And we know what happened after that. 2009 and the financial crisis hit. And those plans were waylaid and they were shelved. But our leadership under my predecessor and our founding executive director, Bill Burley, and board president at the time, Bob Chuk, adapted and overcame and forged ahead and moved into this building from the Gernert Towers, where we spent our first decade as a full-time agency, courtesy of Metro and MDHA making that possibility. We moved in here in 2009. We bought the building with the great help of Pete Stringer, the First Tennessee at that time, the only banker who had touched this project, and we moved in. Bought the building in 2014. But not only that, our mission has evolved beyond homelessness relief to homelessness prevention, as you heard Diane reference, and even into military transition. The vision for this building and for this 2-acre campus has evolved as well to be able to accommodate that broadening. And what started out 5 years ago as a $500,000 renovation plan turned into a $1.5 million project with another near $1 million of in-kind value, making what you see behind me today a reality. This campus has become the epicenter for service to those who have served us. And Operation Stand Down continues to be a vibrant, active member of the historic Edge Hill community where we have been rooted from day one. Our mission is housing, our mission is careers, our mission is resources. And our mission is also one of being welcomed, of being valued, of finding purpose, and being connected to a community, not only a community of veterans, but connected to a community of people who belong to one another. This campus will be a destination for everyone, with social enterprises that you will see filling in these entrances down here over the course of the next year, designed to draw veterans and the community alike, with Curb Victory Hall right next door here on our campus, slated to open late this summer, providing affordable housing primarily to our veterans, with other veteran nonprofits such as Creative Vets, that brings innovative programming to a new generation of veterans, as you see that sign right up there. A vision nearly 30 years ago of bringing community resources together for a period of 3 days for veterans who needed it most, with some big tents, a big flag, and the big hearts of hundreds of volunteers, has grown into the leading veteran service organization in this region, and it will continue to do so. Now it's my privilege to introduce one of our most honored guests today. Governor Bill Lee is a champion of veterans in the great state of Tennessee. And prior to taking office, his company, Lee Company, developed one of the largest private veteran employment initiatives in the state. And we are thrilled, sir, that you are here with us today. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our Governor, Bill Lee.
Thank you, John, Diane, and the many folks that are a part of what's happening right here. I've spoken with community leaders and developers and members of the state and nonprofits, and there's truly a partnership that's happened right here. Maria and I talk about as we drive by here on our way home every afternoon what is happening here and how unique it is to our state. It makes me really proud to be a Tennessean when I see Tennesseans come together to serve a population that has made it possible for us to even live and work and play freely in this state and in this country. So I want to say thank you for just all of you, any of you who had a part in the vision and the execution, not only of this organization, but in the culmination of this plan for this community. There are many in this room who are more proud, or in this setting, that are a lot more proud even than I, because you've been a part of this. But I also want to say thank you to our veterans that are here today. You know, we're in a really unique spot in our country right now. Historic times in our country. Facing pandemic, we certainly had historic days in Tennessee, natural disasters, a global pandemic that's profoundly impacted our state, both from a health standpoint and economic standpoint. But we're also in an incredibly historic moment in time where much needed conversations are having, where liberties and freedoms are being discussed, where rights and privileges are being afforded and protected. And I say all of that because we are very fortunate to live in the country that we live in and to have the ability to exercise our voices, but to do so freely and protected. We're very fortunate in this country to be that. I think we all know that, but there's only one reason that we can be that, and that's because of veterans who have sacrificed, put their lives on the line, fought, died, decade after decade and generation after generation in this country to make sure that we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we owe a great deal of gratitude to every single veteran, not only that are here, but the ones that will be served in this place, those that have served every single one of us, made it possible for us to live in this great nation. We're proud at the state, Commissioner Rogers, the work that our Department of Veteran Services does, our Department of Housing Development. We're proud at the state to partner, but this is really not about a state effort right here. This is about a community effort. People have recognized that the men and women who have served us may fall on difficult times. Right now, I think there are 14,000 unemployed veterans in the state of Tennessee who are in need of services and who are in need of support and who are in need of encouragement, just like every single one of us is at some point in our life. So thank you. Thank you for fulfilling and seeing this vision to its end. Thank you for making sure that those who are and should be the most highly respected citizens in our community, those who have served our country in armed service and protected and made it possible for us to live the life we do. Thank you for what you're doing for them. I have the privilege too to ask Mayor Cooper to come up and say a few words. We have, over the last 3 or 4 months, had an occasion to be more engaged than ever in making sure that Nashville and Tennessee serves its people, works together for the good of our communities, all of the people that live in our communities, and I'm honored to do that again today with you. So, Mayor Cooper, thank you.
Let me, with your permission, take off my mask. Thank you, Governor, for those kind words. And what a great day for Nashville, years in the making, due to everybody's hard work. Everybody who is here has had such a contribution. Governor and First Lady, thank you very much. Commissioner Rogers, Major General Holmes, I see far too much of you, I'm afraid. But let me call out a few Nashvillians, Bob Took, the great Bob Took, for whose vision we would not be here, and Martha Boyd, a U.S. Army veteran, and Mark Watson and Jim Phillips. Money and design makes the world a better place. And the entire team of Operation Stand Down, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to join you this morning. Now, Operation Stand Down began here in Nashville 3 decades ago as a grassroots coalition serving veterans experiencing chronic homelessness. Now today, this organization is delivering comprehensive social service assistance to nearly 10,000 visitors a year in its veteran service centers. Now that represents nearly 1/3 of Davidson County's counted veteran population. And these vital services include basic supportive assistance such as food, housing assistance, and transportation benefits counseling, coordination of other agency services, career placement, case management, and housing assistance. And today's ceremony is the culmination of 6 years of hard work and dedication to Nashville's veteran community. This new Operation Stand Down Veteran Service Center will be one of only a handful of community-based, VA-approved welcome centers for veterans in the whole nation. And it serves as the headquarters for all Middle Tennessee operations right here. Now, as our region's primary nonprofit resource for those who have served their country with honor, this fabulous new space will help Operation Stand Down better serve our diverse veteran community with an equally diverse set of services. Now, Nashville's best days are ahead of us. We can say that easily here in the middle of the pandemic, but it is true. And our veterans are a vital part of our community and our local workforce. And it's only a matter of time until our city's growth continues at a rapid pace. But I'm grateful for Operation Stand Down for working with our veterans to provide networking, job training, and career development services as we get ready for the next great phase. Now, this past weekend, we remembered American service members who took part in one of the most remarkable feats in American or any military history, and that's the Allied invasion of Normandy. And we honor their sacrifice, and I want to thank all the veterans here today, including those who served overseas in Korea and Vietnam and the Gulf War and the global war on terror. This building stands as a monument to your service, and we stand before you, I certainly stand before you with a humble heart and gratitude for your service to our community and to our country. Thank you very much.
Just very quickly before we move on to the big celebration and cutting the ribbon, I want to recognize our founders, particularly John Fergus and Nancy Moore. Will you and other founding members of our first Stand Down event please raise your hands or stand up and identify yourselves so we can thank you. And the same for past board presidents or board officers or board members. Could you please stand or raise your hands to be recognized? And then finally, I want to recognize our Operation Stand Down team and family. Our Chief Operating Officer, Eden Murray, says this building will be as professional as the services we offer. And she's worked hard to make it so with blood, sweat, and tears. Though I think it was the blood of Tim Pearsall, sweat of Charles Plotz, and the tears of ESA and Southland constructors, particularly Mark Watson over here. But we've made it happen. And this building is about to be filled with professionals who deliver those services to the veterans who so professionally have served us. I'm so humbled and honored to serve alongside them. Team Operation Stand Down Tennessee, please stand up or raise your hands and be recognized. And now at this time, I'd like to invite Governor Lee and our First Lady, Mayor Cooper, Major General Holmes, who happened to be the first architect on this project who designed our facade pro bono. Dan Heim, if you could join us on behalf of Director Vedral Barron, Commissioner Rogers, Diane Spencer, our immediate past board president, Martha Boyd, who's on watch. Most of this happened. I'd also like to bring up Bill Burley, our first board president and first full-time executive director, and Mark Watson, who is representing both himself and Dick Miller of ESA, whose pro bono architecture work will speak for itself when you come inside. And finally, Bob Toop, who's already raced right up here, our past board president who made the purchase of this building and the vision for it possible. I think we're about ready to cut. We've got Pete Stringer up here.
Shall we count down? 3, 2, 1. Ready? Three, two, one. Thank you all. We invite you to come in through our main doors here or through our side doors here. Our reception begins in the community room. You will self-pace your tours. We have tour guide space throughout the building.
Thank you, sir. Just fell off so many good things.
It is warm. How are you? A little bit. Just a little bit. Welcome to Stand Down.
Doing fine.